Hi, welcome to the Black Experience Japan's Melanated Files. The purpose of this series is to highlight the black people living in Japan. Who are they?
My name is Ryan. So originally I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, smallest state with the biggest dreams. But my family and where I really represent is from Cape Verde, São Vicente. I studied Japanese in America at my university for about a year. And my teacher just pretty much hyped up Japan so much that she was like, you gotta go visit out there and enjoy it, because once you go, you're not gonna wanna go back to America. I've been living in Japan for about 2.5 months going on. On Christmas, it'll be 3 months. So right now I am working as an English instructor. That's kind of like, I'm an independent contractor instructor, but that's pretty much what I do on a day-to-day basis. Well, you know, back at home in Rhode Island, I was pretty much working like customer service job, and you know, there was really no upward mobility there. And you know, I really wanted to come to Japan and just experience life. Back at home, I was living, you know, with the parents still. You know, I'm 24, well, 25 now. But I was living back home with the parents, and I wanted to go out, you know, leave the nest finally and just experience life to the fullest. So just my dream, just while I'm here in Japan, is to grow into the person I'm meant to be, you know, and fulfill my life, and not so much find my life's purpose, but, you know, come on to my own path and realize it. My experience so far has been great. You know, these last 2 months have just like flown by quickly. I keep in contact with my friends and my family back home, so that's always good. So I don't really miss America that much. But you know, my experience here has been great. You know, I meet new people every day. I try to travel to different prefectures and just enjoy life, because that's why I'm here in Japan, just to enjoy it. I came here around summertime 2015. That was the first time I was here, and I came out here for 2 weeks. And that time it was just like an eye-opening experience, because I had never been to this side of the world. Believe it or not, what really inspired me to come to Japan was Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. And you know, up until that point, I had really never, you know, I knew about Japan obviously, but I didn't really know about the culture or its history, or never really thought about ever coming here, because Australia was my first place to visit. But then I watched the movie and I was like, I gotta go out there. And so yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And so I came here and I was like, wow, I really can't believe I'm actually out here right now, you know, where they shot Tokyo Drift. And I went to Shibuya Center, and it was like, oh, this is where they did that scene. And I don't know, it was just a really like great experience. And I stayed a week in Tokyo. And then after, in the second week, I went to, you know, Hakone, Kyoto, Osaka, Kobe, Hiroshima and Fukuoka, and then back to Yokohama, then Tokyo. So like I got to, you know, explore Japan for really what it was, you know, being in the city life in Tokyo, going all the way to the Kyushu Islands to Fukuoka. So it was really a great experience. Here, there's one thing I tell my clients is that, you know, the difference, you know, in America versus Japan is Japan just has a high respect for, you know, traditions and morals, versus in America, there's not like a real pride in history. Like, yeah, there's the American pride, like, oh, it's great to be an American, but that's as far as it goes. Here in Japan, there's like still traditions that they carry from like long time ago to present day, you know, how they like just mannerisms, how they act, and traditions that they perform that's still carried out. So that's one thing I really enjoy. So I have like two funny things that happened. I had this one client who she, you know, booked me as far as a lesson. And, you know, so she requested me specifically, and we're talking, and she's like, yeah, I really love R&B. And I'm like, okay, like, so how did you find out about R&B? And she ended up telling me like, oh, my husband, he's a black man, and he put me onto R&B. I'm like, all right, cool. And then she's like, yeah, we just got married, and we're about to have a baby. And then she was like, I love black people. And I'm like, oh, I see why you booked this lesson now. But it was great, because like at my studio, I'm like the one and only like black person there. So it was really funny to see like her love for black people. And, you know, when I asked her like what she was gonna be naming her child, she was just like, I'm gonna go with a traditional like black name or African name. I think her husband is from Senegal. So it was like really cool to see like her love for black people. So that was like a funny moment. And then a moment as of recent, I had a fellow who we were talking about, you know, one of the practices, and he wanted to experience life, and the practice was to party with a model, and he's like, just like they do in the hip-hop videos. And I'm like, okay, maybe he saw this on TV. And I was teaching him the differences like between words on how to describe people, and it was like, oh, generous people are humble. And I asked him if he knew this word, and he was like, yeah, humble, like Kendrick Lamar. Be humble, sit down. And at that moment, like my eyes just lit up, because we had just gone through like 30 minutes worth of a lesson, no real connection up until that point. It was just like, whoa, how do you know this? And he's a big fan of hip hop, and he actually saw Africa Bambaataa when they came here to Japan like a long time ago. So that was really awesome to see, and we connected over Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, The Message, where we actually broke out and started rapping the lyrics and the hook. So that was really cool. Funniest moments though. Best advice that I've received overall is really that to be open and try new things and just really experience life at its fullest. Like, don't worry too much about the money. You know, eventually it's gonna come back. New experiences, you can't really put a price tag on that, because what you find out and what it gives to you is like a gift that no one else can get. There's one thing that I would say is just that, you know, you definitely want to mind your world. The world is bigger than your hometown, and sometimes you have to escape that comfort zone to actually really, you know, get to know who you are as a person and get to know other people, because people have different perspectives that if they share it with you, maybe you can expand your horizon. So this is something that I wish you guys would get to know. For social media, I run an Instagram page where I capture, you know, my pictures of Japan and the rest of the world. So that Instagram page is Mind Your World, so at Mind Your World, all one word. And I also have a YouTube vlog channel, also Mind Your World, one word.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see weekly videos about the Black experience in Japan, feel free to subscribe to this channel. If you know someone that would like to be featured, or if you yourself would like to be featured, send us a message on our Facebook page at The Black Experience Japan, or send us a tweet on Twitter at TheBlackXJP. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.